Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. This is the Monday painting video. For everyone that's new, the Monday painting video is I show you a host of models from last week's Weekly Wednesday, and you guys, my viewers, will vote on what you want to see painted in the Monday painting video. In the event of a tie, we do a dice roll, and that's the gist of it. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so the two models that got the most, models that got the most votes were Low-Cost Heavy Destroyer and Mr. Sinister from Marvel Crisis Protocol. Both with 2 votes each. So we're going to do a D6 roll off. 1 to 3, 4 to 6. Now before I do this roll off, whichever one wins will go up on Monday. But I might paint the other one tomorrow. Say tomorrow for me, Sunday for me, just because I'm off Sunday and Monday, so we'll give that a go. So 1 to 3 is him, 4 to 6 is him. 4, Mr. Sinister. So he'll go up on Monday's painting video, but I'll paint him and then try and paint this guy as well. So anyway, see you in a second, guys. So here we are, guys. I'd say it's such a fantastic sculpt. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to set my white palette up and I'll come back to you with what colours I'm going to try with today. Right, so I have Corn Red, Lead Belcher, Euphran Grey, is it? Where did I check the paint? Here it is. Yeah, Euphran Grey. This one is a new one as well I'm using. Where is it? Dawn Star? Yeah, it's actually Dawn Star, yeah, sorry. I'm confused now, it's Dawn Star. White Scars, One Oxide, and Screaming Skull. Now I do have some contrast paint sitting around, but just a bit afterwards. First thing I'm going to start with, well, first thing is, on the box art, his armour is like a real strong blue colour. Yeah, let me show you. A real strong blue colour. It looks like a white dry brush over the top. Now, I know in the comics and in the cartoon, it's a silver armour with a slight tint of blue on it. So, I don't know, I'm gonna work away, and when it comes to that, I don't know if I'm gonna go this one or this one. I think this one is the better one. As you guys will see me do this on power weapons and stuff like that, so this is the better one, especially with all those little lines and creases and anyway. So the first thing I'm going to start with is Corn Red, and the first thing I'm doing is the inside of his cloak. So all these bits are red, which is a bit of a annoying, tedious thing to do. I'd rather do this bit first, then go to the other side, and then have to come back, and I'd rather do this bit first rather than the back part, and then have to make a mistake, then come to this side and make a mistake and have to go back to the back part again. It's very difficult. Well, not very difficult, it's just a pain in the ass. It's basically a edge highlight across the whole lot. So I'm going to crack on with that. His gem here, it's going to be Corn Red as well, and there's a gem in the middle of his forehead. They're going to be Corn Red. So I'm going to get on with those and come back to you when I've finished doing that. And here we are. Now there's a few little bits that look a bit blocky and a bit with the red. Don't panic about that, because when we go to the next stage, it'll tidy it up. Now I'm going to take some Lead Belcher, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint all of these armour panels on him. So all of here, all of his six-pack here, and up to here, because then his cloak comes across the top there. His arms, all those bits, and this devious device as well, so get painted silver. Not the little round bits in the middle, so it'll be the top and the bottom there. Okay, because the bits in the middle of the hat have the energy going for them. So I'm going to whack on with these colours, with this silver. I'm going to come back to you afterwards. So here we are. Yeah. There's a prime example why I did the red first. I hit the flame there. So anyway, now I'm going to go with some Dawnstar Grey, and I'm going to paint all the stone pieces on here. Now there is a little trim around the base there. I'm going to try my best not to get that. But Dawnstar Grey is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. So there's no panic. And let's see how that dries. And I might do the flame the same colour. Yeah. So I'm going to crack on with this. I've wood it down a bit, thin it out a bit too much on the wet palette, but it doesn't matter. Right, so here we are. I like that colour. It's a bit of a mad colour. But anyway, now it's time for Rhinox hide. And I'm going to do leather boots. Might knock in the camera. These hands. All this up here is leather. And this back of his cloak is on the artwork. It's black with a white dry brush. I'm going to do it with the Rhinox hide, just to give me, so now I can dry brush with a scream skull to make it look like proper leather. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll come back to you again, guys. Yeah, looking nice. The bit I've been dreading, his face. He has a white face, pure white. So I've got some white scars, and I'm going to try and get in there and get it as much as I can. The white scars is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. So be careful of that gem. And also his eyeballs itself, they are just pure black. There's no pupils in there, there's nothing like that, so that's a bit of a saving grace. Oh man, that's so difficult. Come on. I don't know why the camera keeps doing that, but there's no panic. I will sort, when I finish doing the desk and set up the new setup area, I will start trying to sort out that autofocus so it doesn't focus on everything behind, actually focus on what I want it to focus on. That's how difficult it is. It looks pretty good actually. I'm actually going to go off camera, just finish off his chin and above his lips, and I'll come back to you then, because I like that grey. So what I might actually do, I'm going to put that Euphron grey on the flame as well, off camera, and then come back and we'll work away on the next bit. Right, so apart from the green flame, for all intents and purposes, this is about ready. So for everyone that's new, now what I do is I take it to the next stage. Now I will say this, if I was doing this commission for someone, I would airbrush the face white, because the face is just giving me so much problems. But I think this is the cause of it. This is the white scars that I'm using. Look how clunky it is in there. Yeah. Here's a new pot that I have. Look at the difference. That's more paint, that's more clunky, horrible crap. So I think the white scars that I have, this one, is destined for the bin. I'm going to the bin today. So with the face, bear in mind with the face, I'll probably give it another bit of white scars, but with the new, another thin coat of white scars, but with the new paint when I finish the rest of it. Also, I swear in the comics, in the cartoon, he has black eyes. But the artwork is telling me he has red eyes, which is not a big issue because I can just put some cornrows in there. And there's a goatee, a little goatee that I forgot about. But I'm not going to bother with the little goatee, probably not. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take some Screaming Skull, okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to come across on these bits of pavement. We're going to start just not edge highlighting, but just going along a few edges like that. Why am I doing this? New people are going to ask, because when I start adding the next bits and pieces to it, it's really going to pop off. So I'm going to crack on with the rest of those stones, and I'll come back to you then. Right, so I did the same thing with the Screaming Skull on the flames. Now I've got some white scars. Can I come through again? Just maybe not in the same places, but just here and there, to just give me a different. Some people say, "What are you doing?" All will be revealed shortly. My regulars will know what's going on here. A bit around here. Didn't want to do this, but I'll show you the face. I'm not happy with it, but I think another thin layer of white scars will sort of sort it out. The mouth looks a bit weird, the eyes look weird. I don't know. Let's see what I can do with it. But that's where I'm with the face. I'm just a bit disappointed with it, but you know, I will try to add a bit more to it and try and get a bit more. So I'll leave it to dry for a minute. We'll come back for contrast paint. Right, now I'm going to try a new thing I've never tried before. This is Tesseract Glow. When I come in, and this is what I'm going for, Tesseract Glow in here. I don't know what way it's going to work. It's the first time using it. Could look great, could look a mess, I don't know. Doesn't look too clever to begin with. Maybe it has to be like a same sort of way contrast paint goes on. You have to have a really light background underneath. I don't know. So I'm going to leave that to dry. I don't know what way that's going to come out. So if it comes out poor, don't shoot me. You know, it's the first time I've ever used it. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wet blend 2 contrast paints on the flame. Now as you can see, some of the flame is still a little bit wet, but that's cool. Now usually when you wet blend 2 contrast paints, here I've got Creed Camo and Striking Scorpion Green. Yeah, normally you'd put the light one on first and then you wet blend the darker one on top, and the dark one, because I think the pigment's heavier, it goes into the recesses and leaves the light one right at the top, and it looks absolutely fantastic. But because this is a flame, I don't know if it's going to work the same way. So I'm going to, sorry about knocking the camera again. So I'm going to start with the Creed Camo. I'm going to do all of this. I did Creed Camo and Eldari Green before on Chaos Cultist Cloaks, and it looked absolutely fantastic. So hopefully we can get the same sort of effect on here. This is where the bits of putting the white paint on really just there's also the Screaming Skull over the top of here, and then some white paint really kicks off because it gives you really light parts and dark parts, like more so than you would get normally. But also because the white scars here is still a little bit wet, it's going to give me a nice little transition from the darker stuff to the light stuff. Straight into the thing, not even wash the brush, go straight into it, start wet blending it in. Sorry, I just wandered totally off camera again. I really have to finish setting that desk up so I can have a proper marker, so I don't go off camera, and you know, so I had to focus on the camera so it doesn't keep auto-focusing away from me. So at the moment you're looking and go, what the hell is that? Oh, I need to drop the model. Don't drop the model. When this all dries, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. The only problem is with the contrast paint on something like this, I have to keep an eye on it for the next few minutes and stop it from pulling downwards, because it will try and pull itself all downwards. So to keep maneuvering it around and make sure it doesn't do that. That's where we're at so far. So I have to leave it to dry for a few minutes, and just said keep an eye on it, moving it. Don't let it pull together towards the bottom. So I'm going to leave it to dry. I'll come back to you in a few minutes. Right, so now I'm going to come with some Rattling Grime, which is contrast paint as well, and I'm going to paint these tiles. Now I don't want to do the whole tile on the floor, only the bits where I put the extreme skull and the white skulls. That's the only bits I want to do, because I want to leave some of that grey there as well. And with this bit I'm doing now, it's just going to give me the same effect as the flames there. It's looking absolutely fantastic, still soaking wet, but getting there. Yeah, wait for that to dry, and I will have to wait for that to dry before I go to the next stage. Still keep an eye on the green flame, make sure it doesn't pull too much towards the bottom. Right, so you can see that's still drying, but that's what I'm talking about, pulling down. It looks fine to me, because you know it's the effect, but all you have to do is take it upside down and it roll back the other way a little bit. I did Rattling Grime on here as well, I forgot to say that. But Telazar Blue, now for his armour, I think it's too strong. I think it's going to be too bright. But Polar Glacier, I don't think it's going to be strong enough. But I'm going to go Polar Glacier anyway. And I'm going to paint all of his armour panels. Sorry, I'm going to go off camera and just finish the rest of it off. But that looks fantastic already. Right, here's where we're at now. I'm still not too happy with the face. Looks okay, but I'm not 100% happy with it. The armour panels look pretty good. I might just get some more Polar Gracia in there because it doesn't, to me, it doesn't look like it's taken that bright. I mean, you can still see a bit just in there, but I don't know, I think it looks fantastic anyway. Now you can see under there the contrast paint's still wet, which is unfortunate. Now with this Tesseract Glow, I don't really like this. I think it looks poor around the base there. When you guys chuck a comment below, let me know if I've done it wrong. Just let me know. If it's meant to be like one colour, then you put the glow on. Apart from that, I'm very happy with this model so far. So the next thing for me to do is I'm going to get some let's get a little brush. I'm going to get some Screaming Skull on the brush. And we're going to come in for a dry brush across all of the leather sections. Now, Screaming Skull is a dry layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. There's no panic. And the cloak, top of his cloak as well. Across his shoulder. And his hair, because he has like a grey tint to his hair. It's not quite grey, but I'm knocking the camera. Hopefully with the new desk setup I will eliminate me constantly hitting the camera. But so there's that. I'm not dropping the models on. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some, I'm going to go for now, I'm going to go for some of the white scars. And I'm just going to try and give it a hit on just the raised areas. The flame to give it a little bit more. So be careful in there because it's still wet, as you can see. It might just be sitting there for a few hours. And the last little dry brush we're going to do is actually going to be, if I can find it straight away, I see it. It's Stormwolf Silver. I'll take it, actually shake the pot first. Take it straight from the pot because I'm doing a dry brush, I'm not doing anything special with it. My tissue. And what I want to do is get the edges of this get the edges of this as well. Now you could just do edge highlight, but I think this is a little bit better. Like knocking the camera again, especially with that rattling grime. It's just going to really. You can see this. You can see the top. Stop knocking the camera. You see the top of I've hit it with it. Just along there. It's fantastic. Now again, it's a layer paint, so I might have to add a couple of coats to it. Now I was going to dry brush his armor panels, but I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to get a bit of contrast paint, Talazar blue again. Not Talazar blue, sorry, Polar Glacier. But this time I'm going to try and just do select placement of it. So what I'm going to do, some on the brush, bring it up, and I'm just going to try and just sort of pick out the like a six-pack and all that sort of stuff. It's too much. Sort of turning to stick him in a second coat. Ah, dear me. I wanted to be a bit precise with it and just get certain bits, but just found myself just painting the whole thing. Now that's the effect that I want. Where it's silver, you can see the blue coming through. And last but not least, I'm going to get some Evil Sunz Scarlet. Give it a good shake up because it's a brand new pot, not even opened. Right, again, I'm taking it straight from the pot, getting rid of some of it on the tissue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and just start applying it. Inside here. Too much. Far too much. What I'm doing is I just want to try and get the bottom half of the robes. I want to do this little chest piece. Little gem. Now I'm going to go off camera. You can see I had the first one at the edge, I've done too much on. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to do the rest of those inside the robes and I'll come back to you then. Right, so I'm extremely happy with this model. The only thing I'm not happy with is the Tesseract glow. But you guys check on below and let me know. I probably know I'm using it wrong. I probably would have to give it a good base coat of a bright colour and then used it on the, I don't know, or maybe a light green and use that, I'm not sure. But it looks fantastic. I'm even pleased with the face. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's okay. The only thing I'm disappointed with a little bit is the Polar Glacier. But you can still see tints of the blue in the silver armour, but it's not as prolific as I wanted it to be. Cape looks amazing. The flame looks fantastic. So that contrast paint is still wet in this here. And anyway, I'm going to bring you down and show you some really nice pretty pictures. But thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for voting. If you're new and this is the first time you've seen the channel, please guys hit the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing, but helps the channel out in a massive way. And make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss any future videos. For everyone else, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.